Mangroves are unique trees that can flourish in both marine and brackish water. Worldwide, there are over 100 different species. Here in the Caribbean, we have 3 species: red, black, white, and one related species, buttonwood. Mangroves have evolved over millions of years to be able to thrive in these harsh coastal environments. Unlike every other tree, they have the ability to use their roots to filter out salt from the water or excrete the salt through their leaves. Furthermore, red and black mangroves have an adapted root system which helps them in the wet environments. Red mangroves have prop roots and aerial roots that drop down from the branches. In contrast, black mangroves have roots that grow straight up, acting as snorkels in deep or muddy waters. These trees also have a unique propagation technique. The flowers don't produce seeds, but a propagule, like a small plant ready to settle. These propagules are capable of surviving in these harsh coastal environments. We benefit immensely from mangroves, both environmentally and economically. These forests provide natural materials such as wood, support high biodiversity, serve as habitat and nursery area for fish, crustaceans, and a wide variety of birds. They also filter pollutants from the water, provide a natural buffer between land and sea, and protect the coastline against erosion from strong waves, just to mention a few. Recent research has discovered additional value in climate change mitigation. They have a great capacity to store carbon from greenhouse gases and are able to protect coastlines from rising sea levels and intensifying storms. The mission of the Mangrove Maniacs is to protect and conserve the mangroves of Bonaire. We do this by restoring the water circulation in the mangrove forest. Degraded areas are restored and mangrove area is increased through reforestation. Overdevelopment by humans and overgrazing by free-roaming grazers have left the neighboring areas of the mangroves prone to erosion. After heavy rains or winds, land sediment moves from these areas into the mangroves, infilling important channels. These channels are critical connections between the front and back of the mangroves and risk to be closed by these sediments. Using satellite imagery, scientific recommendation, and the local fishermen knowledge, the Maniacs are working to restore these historic channels. Excess sediments are removed as well as the branches and roots that block the channels. This way, the front and back of the mangroves are reconnected again. In addition, reforestation using young plants is also needed. To aid in this effort, the Mangrove Maniacs have developed nursery areas within the mangrove channels. Water passes with the tidal movements and these new mangroves can grow and develop in their natural environment. Propagules of black and red mangroves are collected and, by using material found within the mangrove channels, these propagules are grown in biodegradable nursery bags. This technique allows us to plant them directly in the ground when ready. Crates of these new mangroves are then labeled and put in the nursery, high enough in the water so they don't drown, but deep enough so regular tidal flow can bring in fresh water. Using this method, nature takes it from here. We just conduct regular checks to ensure everything stays on track. After a couple of months, the plants can be used to boost mangroves in degraded areas and along the southwest coast. Planting mangroves in these areas will support mangroves growing naturally while also increasing future coastal protection capabilities. As an experiment, black and red mangroves have been placed at different locations throughout the mangrove forest. This helps us determine under what conditions have the highest success rate for new plants. We've already discovered many interesting things, like the importance of salinity and access to shade in young mangrove growth. Mangroves in shaded areas tend to grow faster, perhaps growing taller in search of sunlight. The conditions along the coast are very different from inside the mangrove forest of Lakbay. From strong wave action to substrate with almost no sand, these new mangroves will need to find ways to thrive in a harsh environment. To To track their success, individual plants receive a unique number and/or monitored to follow their growth and success rate. Lessons learned from these experiments will help guide future reforestation efforts on the island. We hope to share these lessons within the mangrove community to help countries around the world protect these valuable habitats. Mangrove forests are fascinating for a wide variety of reasons, but perhaps their most interesting evolutionary trait is their ability to move their entire forest over generations. Their unique method of allowing papagoes to float over water ensures future generations will settle wherever water is able to flow. As sea level changes, so are their natural nurseries, allowing mangroves to creep up to higher grounds, combating sea level rise. Unfortunately, if we continue to develop along these forest edges, mangroves will have nowhere to go. It becomes our responsibility to ensure these forests will always have a space on our islands. Improving the health of our current mangroves and finding new areas for mangroves to expand will help ensure these forests are around for many generations to come. To find out how you can help, please visit our website at www.mangrovemaniacs.org and stay up to date by following along on Facebook. Whether a resident on the island or a visitor, we would like to welcome you to visit the mangroves to see this truly amazing side of Bonaire.